Hey guys, we're going to take a look at how to do those lap joints. So far I've just started a new part, just like our other drawings, our other parts. I'm going to do an XY plane. I am going to start with a rectangle. Depending on which lap joint you're doing, the 13.5 or the 16 is going to depend on how long you're going to make this one. So I'm going to do the 13.5 because that's the dimension that sometimes students do struggle with. So my width is 13.5 and my height is going 3.5. I'm going to go ahead and finish that sketch. Extrude, we're working with a 1x4, so our lumber dimension, our extrusion is going to be 3/4 of an inch. And now I'm going to start that new sketch. And this is where I'm actually going to begin by drawing the lap joint. So I'm going to draw the lap joint starting with a rectangle. And it's really important that you're right on this corner. I'm going to drag, and I'm going to go ahead and dimension this rectangle. So when we're splitting with a lap joint, we're basically splitting the corner out. So this total distance is 3.5. So this distance is going to be 1 3/4 inches. We want it to lap over the other board that's 3/4 of an inch thick. So in this direction, we are going to be at 3/4. We're going to do the same thing in the opposite corner. Super important that you're doing the opposite corner. Same dimensions. And now I'm ready to extrude both these rectangles in a cut direction. So I'm going to select my profiles. I'm going to switch to direction 2 and to my subtraction and go ahead and say OK. So this is now my lap joint. Now this does need pre-drill holes. So to put those pre-drill holes in, I'm going to do another new sketch. I'm going to put my pre-drill circle, you're fine, my pre-drill circle hole right here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dimension this into place. So this distance right now is 1 3/4 inches. Half of 1 3/4 inches is, oh wait, I can't get a response because you guys aren't here. This isn't the computer, so hopefully on your own you're figuring this answer out. So half of 1 3/4 inches is 7/8 of an inch. And of course, our known standby dimension that we should have memorized by now is half of 3/4 is 3/8. And then I need to dimension the diameter of the circle, which hopefully you are comfortable with knowing by now. That's 1/16 of an inch. So this one's done. I need to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to start with my circle. I'm going to dimension it. This is 3/8. And again, half of 1 3/4 inches is 7/8. Dimension the diameter of my circle. I want it to be 1/16 of an inch. And I have my two pre-drill holes opposite, and these do need to go in both the 13.5 and the 16.5. So I'm going to finish my sketch. I'm going to go ahead and extrude my circles, and these are going to be as a cut. You can see they're going back through, and I have my pre-drills. So now I'm ready to actually go ahead and save this, and this is time to go into a drawing. File, save as. I need to make sure that I know where I'm saving it, and I'm saving this as 13.5 lap. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make that into a new drawing. And it will take just a second here for my computer to open my drawing up. Okay, so now we're ready to put our 13.5 inch lap joint into a drawing and dimension it. So we're going to change our sheet size. So we're going to right click, edit sheet, changing it from a size D to a size A to an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. We need to discard the large title block, right click, delete. We're going to go to our drawing resources, into our title blocks, anti-A, insert. Now we're ready to go to base, and you're going to need to know either where you saved it if it doesn't pop up by browsing. So here's my 13.5-inch lap joint. You do want it to be at a scale of 1/4 inch and hit OK. You're then going to project into top view, side view, and isometric. And I did a right click create there at the end. And I'm just going to move all these over a little bit. And now I'm ready to dimension my drawing. How we dimension is important because the dimensions are to communicate information. Annotate my overall dimension. So this is how I would know exactly how long to cut my board from the beginning. So 13.5. I'm now going to dimension the lap joint itself, 3/4 inch, 1 3/4 inch. The other side as well. I need to dimension the width of the board. I'm sorry, the thickness, the width, and I need to dimension the diameter of the hole. It is important that when it's a pre-drill hole that you are dimensioning the diameter. I'm not sure why this is not working how I would like it to. There we go. If it happens to come up as a radius, you want to right-click and choose Dimension Options, and you can choose diameter from there. Although technically you should dimension both of the holes, I'm only going to require you to dimension one. So the diameter is 1/16 inch, and then we need to locate the hole position. Please remember that's done based on the center point. I believe those are our needed dimensions. Now we do want to change them from decimals into fractions. I'm holding the Shift key down to select multiples at a time. And you would need to change your name. My name comes up because my username is egmart. If I wanted to change that into Mrs. Martin, just like you will change it from your number to your first name, File, iProperties, Summary, and where it says Author, you're going to make that change. This is your 13.5. You can go ahead and print that out. You will also need to make a 16-inch lap joint. The lap joint and the pre-drill spacing is the same. Hope that makes sense. Have a good one and get some work done.